Okay, so our dough has been in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and as you can see, it's been just rising ever so slightly. You get like a nice big air bubble like that. And then I've lightly floured a surface here, and so I'm just gonna pop the dough out of its little metal bowl, very carefully let it kind of fall down. You don't want to lose that shape. You want it to be nice and similar to that shape. And so you're going to turn it over as we're getting it ready. And I tend to like to put my dough on a pizza crisper rather than a pizza stone. So a crisper is like this. This is a Cuisinart one that I got off of Amazon.com for just like 10 bucks, but it's kind of medium grade steel, pretty high quality steel, and that cooks really evenly. And I like this for a home kitchen because it gets a much more consistent kind of result than a stone would if you're trying to pull it on and off with like a pizza peel. So anyway, when you're stretching the dough out, because we're going to stretch it, the first thing that you do is you form a ridge. So you just take your fingertips and you press down like this, and you see how it creates this, I don't know, like almost mushroom shaped sort of thing in the middle. And then I'm just going to very gently pick it up. And notice that I've sprinkled it with just a little bit of flour so that it's just a little bit easier to work the dough. And so I sort of turn it like this, or maybe I'll get my knuckles underneath it, and I'm just very gently stretching it, being very careful not to get it too thin in the middle like that. And so after I've stretched it to a point that I find to be pretty close to the full size that I want that pizza to be, I pull it out onto my pizza crisper. And you want, by the way, with the crispers, you want these things with holes in the bottom. And we're just going to do a really simple margherita pizza. This is a kind of classic Neapolitan style. This is what you're going to find really if you go to Naples, Italy. And so I'll take my sauce that I had made, just this real nice simple marinara, and just do a very thin layer of that marinara sauce. You don't want to overdo it. And then from there, I'm just going to take some tomatoes. So we've got our kind of fresh tomatoes that I've cut very thinly. Okay. And then I've got my chunk mozzarella. And so this is fresh mozzarella, and this spreads out very nicely on the pizza. And I prefer this vastly to your kind of shredded mozz or something like that. And so I'm just going to kind of distribute it however I want on my pizza, and it's ready to go into the oven. And with the oven, by the way, I have preheated this oven to 550 degrees, and I've let it sit because you want that oven to be as hot as you can possibly get it. Because what's going to happen is we're just going to cook this for 10 minutes, and the pizza is going to puff up really quickly, and that's going to give us that nice kind of crisp outside, but then the airy kind of inside. Okay, well, let's pop it into the oven, all right? And then I put that on the middle rack, and I get it closed as quickly as I can. And we're going to come back in just about 5 minutes and turn the pan so that the pizza will cook evenly. Okay, so the pizza's been in the oven for about 5 minutes, and I'm just going to go in there and turn it. So I'm going to turn it about halfway around so that it cooks evenly. Something that's really important here is do not open the oven. You want this oven as hot as possible, so you open it as little as possible. So I'm just going to open it very quickly and then turn the pizza, and then we'll come back in 4 minutes once it's been turned. Okay, 4 minutes from now, we should have piping hot margherita pizza. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's been Another 4 minutes in the oven, and as you can see, the pizza is really, really ready to go here. Some things to notice, right? We've got this nice big kind of set of air bubbles around the crust, and then these like char spots. That's, if you're really working with trying to make good pizza, that's the color you want. You want just these little bits of black around here. The cheese has spread out very nicely. So what I'm going to do is just use my metal spatula and pull this pizza up off of the crisper here. If everything has gone right, then the pizza is just going to lift right up off the crisper. It may need a little bit of nudging if it was too thin in the middle or something like that, but I'm guessing that this pizza is going to lift right off. Let's take a look. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, so we got to kind of work underneath. And that's just because some of that cheese is probably melted through the crust. You know, maybe I made the crust a little too thin. Maybe I put a little too much cheese, got a little excited about it. So anyway, now it's ready to go, and I just lift it off. And then from here, it's just kind of finishing touches. So I take some fresh basil. I think that putting fresh herbs on your pizza will elevate pizza so quickly. This is what makes pizza at like a really nice place, like, I don't know, Slice or John Marco's or Da Michele's, if you're talking about pizza in Italy or something like that. These fresh herbs are a real big kind of important dividing line. And I like to grate just a little bit of Parmesan over it as well. And from there, all we have to do then is wait about 5 more minutes for that dough to rest. Because what's going to happen is that even when the pizza comes out of the oven, it still is cooking inside, and there's still flavor developing in there. So I know it's really tempting, but you got to leave it alone for about 5, maybe 10 minutes, just to let it kind of rest in the way that like a steak or something like that would. And then after 5 minutes, you can cut into it, and you've got a delicious margarita pizza. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy making your own pizza. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about pizza or would like some tips. All right, thank you for watching.